What's going on, everybody? RE Solutions here with this week's Tidbit Thursdays, and we're doing a retake from a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
We had Carrie Brady from the Wood Group of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. I got that right this time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I sure did. So we had some technical difficulties last time, some audio difficulties. So this time we are back at it again, asking Carrie about some finance options now in this crazy changing market. The three of us are here, and Belinda's coming in late. Go ahead, sneak in, Belinda. Sneak in. Come on.
There's no sneak in. Hey, what's up? Now you're gonna call me out.
I was gonna call you out anyway. So anyway, so that's what our Tidbit Thursday is going to be on today. So give us a second and we'll start. Strawberry tastes like sparkling water right here. So anyway, for those of you who don't know who we are RE Solutions. We are a residential real estate and property management company that loves to help
Educate
and help people find solutions for all their real estate needs. I always get them mixed up, but that's the way it's supposed to go. We do that by doing this Tidbit Thursdays every Thursday, and we do other seminars, which we have a buyer seminar coming up on July 21st, that we're promoting, and you'll be seeing that on Facebook. So please follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
subscribe,
YouTube,
all of it,
all that stuff. But today we have, again, one of our favorite lenders.
Yes.
Carrie Brady.
Hey, Carrie.
What's going on, Carrie? How are you doing?
Hey, lady.
How are you? I'm good. Happy Thursday.
That's a big conference room, by the way.
Love it. We do trainings, we do all kinds of classes, and we have a big TV. If we get stressed in the middle of the day, we have all kinds of things that we can watch on it. Very, very.
That'd be a great seminar spot.
Absolutely. I think we've had a max of like 20 people in this room.
Yeah, I guess I would be packed, huh? But anyway,
coffee right now next year, so we get the coffee and come on up.
There you go. So the girls took it all over last time, so go ahead.
You gave so much great information last time, and unfortunately, we had a bad connection. And so we just appreciate you taking more time out of your schedule to talk about the different types of lending programs that people can use to purchase a home.
Yes, and thank you for calling us girls.
So
the women that we are.
Right. Yes. Sorry. The women.
No, I said thank you because make me feel young. So we were talking about the different some old products coming back now that the rates are up. To where are the rates as of today? Where are the rates?
It's a movement on a daily basis. It's up 2 clicks, down a click. It's depending on programs, it's depending on credit score, it's depending on a whole series. So we get a lot of phone calls of what's your rate today, but it's really hard to determine, are you in the high 4s, low 5s, high 5s, low 6s? It just depends. So a complete analysis of what that looks like is hard to throw out. If I was in a funny mood and someone called me and asked me, what's your rate today, I always go with a 2%. And they say, really? And I say, no, not really. I just don't know your situation. So I can't really tell you what that's like until we do it. But we are seeing some ways to be creative with getting a lower rate versus a 30-year fixed rate or a simple program. We're seeing a lot of 2-1 buy down program. This is a very old school program. This is something back in 1999, 2000, and on. I see them as and back then in the business, when I first started, rates were 8-9%. We sold that pretty well, so we've just been so low for so long. But back to the 2-1 buy down. It's a great product. It allows a seller to, and even a buyer if they wanted to prepay interest as far as the concession goes. So there's so much interest in a rate. Let's rate for at 5.5, and a seller pays, the interest of 5.5 for 2 years, but the buyer pays 3.5, which is a 1 year fix, and then 4.5, which is the second year 1 year fix, and then it's 5.5 for the remaining term of it helps the person come in and say, okay, I can carry a little bit lower payment for 1 year, 2 years, and build up whatever they're building up. It could be raises, it could be, selling another house, it could be all kinds of things that they're trying to do. But 2-1 buy down, that was a big blast from the past. You see them in the government loans, you see them in the conventional loans right now, and we have buyer and seller paid. So we are promoting sort of, lowering a sales price on a house, offer a buyer to pay the interest for it. And just to kind of give you a small idea of what that looks like, $250,000, $300,000 house for a 2-1 buy down, the interest is probably $8,000 total that they would have to pay. Now, if you're lowering a house from 300,000, are you going to lower it by 8,000, or are you going to lower it more than 8,000? Keep it at 3,000, and offer some great concessions to a buyer. It helps a lot of people, especially in this market.
It's really good when you can get that extra assistance you need to buy the house that you really want.
We're definitely in that market right now. We are seeing a lot more negotiations. We're not truly a buyer's market, and we're not truly 100% seller's market. We're seeing it across the board as now some negotiations are really taking place. List price, seller concessions for this market is a lot of the contracts we're seeing coming in.
This month has felt more like our market when I entered real estate.
So they can buy down the rate, and so are you seeing, so people have their closing costs, but they just need that extra money to buy down that rate? Is that what you're kind of seeing right now, what people are asking for?
No, we're seeing people that have their down payment money, and we're seeing people that need seller concessions for closing costs. Or we're seeing sellers enticed by this 2-1 buy down or some other products to buy down the rate. So if you're buying down the rate from 5.5, let's say 5.5, you may be at a 5. Your payment may be, that's a bigger difference of a payment than when we were in the 2s or 3s, from 3.5 to a 3. So as a lender, pre-approving someone and telling them what their payments look like, and then if they get, want to pay down points and everything, we're really heavily into that market. So anything that can be negotiated versus negotiating a lower sales price is probably going to benefit more. If you have your own money, if you have your own everything, and you're okay with the payment, then the sales price still changing is only going to change your payment by just a little bit more versus the bang of seller concessions and paying down points.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. So we're seeing, and we've been talking to our buyers about that, about don't go down in price, pay the listed price. However, you're going to get your money back. We'll ask for that help or for the concessions that way, instead of offering $10,000 less and play with the numbers. So yeah. So what other?
Right, appreciation is still going up. So we're not going to see that. It's not as fast, but we're not going to see that change. So I think you'll see appreciation in the next 5 years, even if you pay list and you get seller concessions.
So what other loan products or other programs can people look at other than the 2-1 buy down?
We are seeing a lot of ARM products being moved right now, not just for people buying primary homes, but we're doing a lot on the investment part of it as well. So investment property, ARMs.
Really?
Yes. which we love. I mean, take away from 2007 before, where there was ARM products that gave us a bad name. These ARM products have no prepayment penalty on them, so there's 5-year, there's 7-year, there's 10-year ARMs. They're probably a good point or so less than the market is allowing right now as in a 30-year, but at any time you can refinance out of it. There's no you have to stay in it for the 7 years or anything like that. So we are doing an ARM product, a lot of ARM products. Now, ARM products are for those that have great credit, money in the bank, putting down as little as 5% on the conventional, but the government ARM products have not been produced yet, just because the margins, they haven't dropped those margins yet on that kind of rate. But investment, second home, and primary conventional ARM products are outside. I mean, they're great. And once they can get past the whole stigma of an ARM product, they see that it's well worth paying for that. Saves them a ton of money.
And an investor still has to put 20% down for those ARMs?
They do.
Okay.
I know the first time you mentioned ARMs 2 weeks ago, you almost go like, oh, hold up, and
It's exactly the conversation I get when I mention it to a client that we're getting ready to lock in an interest rate in. I'm like, okay, let's just look at what the difference of ARMs is. Probably 90% of the people I have conversations with think about it and come back, and we'll do the ARM. It's a great
Why
product.
do you think ARMs got such a bad name?
Well, back in before 2008, the ARM products that were out there had prepayment penalties on them, and their prepayment penalty was usually a year after it adjusted. And so what would happen is the ARM would adjust, and the rate would go high, and the people couldn't even afford their
Right.
payment, and then they would get behind. So after 2008's meltdown of mortgages, the government has stepped in. There's so many laws in place now of what lenders can and cannot do that no prepayment penalty for us is one of the bigger things. So 2-year, 3-year, whenever this market changes, or are you going to keep it that long, 5, 7, 10 years? I mean, it's still great to have that lower payment.
Okay.
yeah.
So it sounds like they made it so that it's doable. Because again, like we said the last time, what we're telling our buyers, you're gonna want to refinance anyway. So that's one. And then two, in five years, you may want to even sell the property and move up or down. So we're seeing that a lot. So yes. So
I think we said it last time. I know it's going around social media quite a bit. It's called marry the house, date the rate.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a true saying of refinance. Buy the house that you want now, and don't worry about the rate as long as you can afford the payments, and then think about refinancing down the road.
I know, like, we refinanced the home we live in, our primary home, twice already since purchasing it, because just the way the rates have gone,
Right.
So it's not that hard.
we haven't.
We
Lazy.
haven't, yeah.
So,
We're lazy.
Yeah, you just keep paying high prices. It's cool, but it's all good.
And so, how are these?
Remind
Are there
you
any
guys to
other
call
products that we should know about?
those are the two best ones right now, that are just resurfacing, that are old school for us. Other than that, I mean, it's just a great market. I mean, nothing's going to be as cheap as it is today in house prices and everything right now. And so it's just a great time to buy. And we're just trying. There's so many people who call wanting to get qualified to buy, and they're just scared to get off the fence. And so we just keep promoting, not paying rent, or not, 100% of rent is there goes to the landlord. So it's just trying to keep people's head in the game in this market, not just our market, but any market right now, gas, groceries, everything.
Yes.
I mean, just trying to keep people's head on straight with, like, okay, if you got to live somewhere, don't you really want to buy something?
Yeah.
So what do you do for that? What do you do to convince that first-time home buyer that's looking to buy right now, but all they hear is doom and gloom across all the medias regarding the interest rates are going to blow up. There's a huge crash coming for real estate. All of these big things. How do you help convince that first-time home buyer?
I think my husband does a better job. As a husband and wife team, he's usually on the forefront of that, and he's a better salesman of that. I always tell people, you're going to be just fine, but he has and he sells that to and talks to people. Honestly, we've worked through this market. We've worked through the 2007, 2008 market where we thrived afterwards. The crash is not coming, and they can either Google all kinds of things, or they can listen to who they call to help them give lending advice to. And so if we can just, take it step by step, it's a little bit more hand-holding. It's a little bit more just being sympathetic. I mean, we're all in the same boat of inflation right now, and what they're thinking is a recession. But we're all in that, whether we're buying a house or not buying a house. There's just hold-handing a little bit more to potential first-time home buyers who just are not sure. But there's not a lack of buyers that are wanting to buy. It's just getting people to take the leap to do it.
Yeah.
Is that 2-1 buy down product? Is that just for a specific loan?
No, the conventional FHA and VA all carry it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's a great little.
So honestly, if you want more information about the 2-1 buy down or how the ARM works and if it could benefit you, reach out to Carrie at the Wood Group of Fairway. Because if you call us, I would be like, hey, here's the number.
Oh, and can they still get down payment assistance programs and do that buy down?
They cannot. It's two separate
Okay.
programs. So they either
Okay.
have to do down payment assistance or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Down payment assistance programs are still around?
They are. We are. Again, you're talking rates. So you want to get 2% to 5%. It's going to be whatever the state says the rate is, but most of it's forgivable after 3 years. And so again, then you're back at refinancing, but you've used the state's money to help you get into a home. So it works out. We have a lot of veterans who, need a little bit of extra on their closing costs if they're not able to negotiate that. And so we've been doing a lot more of the 2% down payment for veterans because that's all they need to round out their closing costs for their loan. So
Let's get into
there.
Oh my God.
Whoops.
Is that my timer? Am I done?
Yeah. That goes off all the time. It's like when we're always busy.
Yeah.
So, any other questions for Carrie?
I think.
No,
No.
thank you for coming to talk to us again. Appreciate you.
No, appreciate
Yes.
y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So,
All right, Carrie. Well, it was good talking to you again for the second time. Well, actually, this is your third time on Tidbit Thursday,
I
really.
think it's
Yeah,
like
really, yeah.
4 times
Yeah.
already. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get the prize because you've been on here
The most.
the most from all of our guests and stuff. So.
Love it.
But anyway, it was good talking to you. A lot of good information from you, and we will talk to you later on. You have a good day, okay?
Thanks,
All right.
Gary.
Bye.
Bye.
All
We're
right.
gonna have to send her a little something,
I know. We're
She
gonna
likes
have to send her
Fireball.
something. Yeah. A fireball?
Fireball. No, yes.
So
Who doesn't like Fireball?
I don't.
I don't. It
Ah.
burns. It
Oh,
burns on the way
wow.
down. Anyway, so once again, we are having our buyer seminar on July 21st. It's going to be at Sandra's Mexican Cuisine restaurant here on Potranco.
Trying something a little new.
It's on Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7:30-ish. Depends on how long we go. It's going to be us, Harley Walters from Texas Custom Credit Repair, Chris Fouts with Align Mortgage. Hopefully he brings Karen, his wife, out with him, even though she doesn't like to talk in front of people, but she's cool. We're going to have Tracy Wiggins from Alamo Real Pro Inspections, and
Actually, Rodney's going to be out to speak.
Oh, Rodney's gonna
Yeah.
be okay.
Awesome. Rodney's
So
gonna be
Rodney's
out.
actually the owner of Alamo Real Pro
Nice.
Inspection, so he'll be out, and he's a wealth of knowledge. We've had a video with him before, Tidbit Thursday with him.
Mhm.
We need to do another one.
Yeah, yeah, because there was a lot of information.
And Goosehead.
And Goosehead Insurance will be out there, so Jesus and Erica will
Yep.
be out there. So a lot of real estate professionals out there just there to answer your questions on the home buying process. So come on out, or if you know of anybody that's thinking of buying a home in the next year or so, tell them to come on out. So we'll
Get
have some
Get
appetizers.
some knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge and appetizers.
Incentives
Some
for
incentives.
coming out because we know the time is valuable. You know,
Yes,
so.
yes. So, other than that,
I think we're good.
I think
Happy
we're good.
birthday to everybody who had a birthday this weekend. Next week,
And next
it's
week,
coming up.
next week's coming up, and it's hot outside still.
It is so
I hope
hot.
everybody's staying cool. I know electricity is going over the roof right now.
We
It's
actually
just
raised our AC just a little bit.
yeah.
bit.
So it's kind of
I'm
crazy.
feeling it right now in the
They're
studio.
doing some brownouts around in some areas and stuff,
Yep.
shutting off the power for a little bit to try to save some electricity. But
So it
you
doesn't
go
all
out
go
there and
down?
buy your electric cars, though. Okay. That's just my joke. But anyway, I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next week
With market stats.
with market stats
Yeah.
next week.
See what happened last month in San Antonio because
Yes.
the shifts is happening so fast. I'm getting whiplash.
Whiplash.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.